Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
And Rutherford Issues on WGNS is made possible by our friends at Middle Tennessee Electric. Well, August heat means your air conditioner is working overtime, so stay ahead of peak cooling cost by nudging up that thermostat just a few degrees when the house is empty, and be sure to change that HVAC filter monthly. Just a few tips from MTE. You can find more at mte.com/myenergyplan. Well, we're talking all about the United Way of South Central Tennessee. I had a little brain glitch there. Haley Adams probably saw that brain glitch. Your mind says one thing and it's coming out of your mouth, and sometimes you have to just say, stop talking and listen to your brain. So
United Way is good. United Way. Yeah, we're here.
South Central Tennessee. I guess we all remember of Rutherford and Cannon counties, and then as you've grown, and this has been a year or two, I guess, in the
it has, but it still feels like yesterday, right?
I guess.
That we expanded and so we're serving 7 counties. So South Central Tennessee is our region that we serve, but our office is still based here in Murfreesboro, in Rutherford County.
Yeah, lots of things have happened during that time, and you add service area and projects and different things, and any event that is done is now magnified because it's usually duplicated everywhere. So
absolutely we're all stronger together, and that's kind of what we realize with the mergers between those our 3 United Ways, I guess, to be one, and so the impact is just being able to be magnified, and we're excited to continue to serve.
Well, this week, I think the world was just kind of shaken at the news of the passing of Dolly Parton. And, you said that you all were inundated. I was just, I'm not surprised by the outpouring and all the good things that were said about Dolly and whatnot, but just the sheer number of people that had a reaction. It's been a long time since we've had so many people worldwide have such a reaction to something.
Absolutely. I think it's just a testament to how many lives she's touched, from people who grew up with Dolly, or even, young children that are still seeing Dolly's name and Dolly's picture in their home through those Imagination Library books. Kids as young as, 3 and 4 are, recognizing that name. And so it's really impactful to see how many lives she truly touched through all of her work, through all of her philanthropy and music and everything in between.
Interestingly enough, this kind of hit me. I think we're getting close to the time, if not seeing a few already, adults who were having children that were part of that Imagination Library first go around,
Yeah, it's actually interesting. We had a volunteer, because we are the sustaining partner for our local Imagination Library. We had someone come in and volunteer to help us enter people into the system, so enter some of these newborns so that they can start receiving books. And she said, I actually think I was one of the first, part of the first wave. So some of these college students that are coming out, some people in their mid-20s are part of that first wave, that first class of Imagination Library recipients. And so it's definitely interesting to be able to have the way that impacted their lives, and then be able to see that the way that they can impact their children's lives as well.
Well, here is a proud grandpa moment. I have to yesterday, my granddaughter has this book about animals, and you can press a button on the page and it'll make the animal sound. Mm-hmm. But on the last page, it doesn't have the animal sounds, but it gives kids the opportunity to say, where is the dog? Where is the cat? And they can point to it. And she did her bag of tricks yesterday, pointing to the dog and to the cat. She gets really frustrated when she can't push that button, but she knows what it does. Mm-hmm. But my my daughter-in-law was telling me, car rides with a book are peaceful. There are no problems. If there's not a book in her hand, she's going to let you know that she's not happy. So that's cool, and they receive the books monthly too. So I guess that PSA to say, get a book in your child's hand.
Absolutely. Dolly said if you can read, you can do anything. So it's really important from that young age, even if they're not reading, even if sometimes I wonder, does my son know that, or is he just memorizing what we've told him? But even that's a piece of it, right? So just having that time with them, I think that's something for me as a parent is just sitting down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes a night and reading books and having that quality time is just something that you can't beat. Or with grandparents, right?
Yeah.
It's something that not very often that they'll sit still and listen, True. I think. So having a good, engaging book is always a treat. And so we're really thankful for that program.
It's been a long time ago when I was a brand new parent. And I think you see things from a different lens, and you're getting more of the 9,000 foot observation as a grandparent than when you're a parent. Mm-hmm. And I've talked endlessly over decades about reading and how important that is for children. But I mean, before she could walk, she was trying to say words like dog and cat, and it's all because of books. Mm-hmm. I think sometimes we lose maybe the importance of that. I've heard you preach it, anyone else from the United Way, year after year after year, but I'm seeing it from a different lens now. And, this is Imagination Library certainly has made a big impact. You said sustaining partner. So this idea came about with Dolly and working with the state, and it's all over the country, even parts of the world, I think. But a sustaining partner, you have to have a sustaining partner. So how does that work? And maybe explain that partnership.
Absolutely. So yes, Dolly Parton, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and the Dolly Foundation, they created this idea of the Imagination Library in honor of her father and wanted to get books in the hands. It started in Sevier County, where she's from, but obviously it has expanded. And so the Dolly Foundation, they do a great job of identifying the books. They have a great board that picks the books that go out, and they negotiate wholesale prices. But it is up to a local sustaining partner to pay for that funding. And the state of Tennessee has a really great partnership with the Governor's Early Literacy Foundation. So they pay 50% of that book bill for all of the counties in Tennessee. And then there is people like us, the United Way, or other Books from Birth foundations that foot the bill, the other 50% of that cost. So if you think about how big Rutherford County is, how many young families we have moving into town, we have about 20,000 children from birth to age 5 that we provide books for every single month. So we pay the 50% of the cost of those books, and then the 50% of the postage as well to get those in the hands. So that's, last year alone, we did 190,000 books in Rutherford County. So,
and you have 6 other counties now.
We do. We are locally the sustaining partner of Rutherford and Cannon, and then we support some of the other systems that are the sustaining partners in those counties through some grants and things. But Rutherford County alone. Rutherford County is the biggest one and the biggest cost for us, and just continues to grow.
So the sustaining partner can be different in other counties.
It can. Gotcha. Yes. United Way nationally is a huge partner, and it is usually the local sustaining partner, but some counties do have their own independent like Books from Birth Foundation or other organizations that pay for that funding.
So let's kind of talk about the process. New parents, their child just born over at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital.
Yep.
How do they receive that very first book?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit different over the years. So some people may have, 6 or 7 years ago, they may have received their first book in the hospital. The way that it works now, Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford is an amazing partner of ours in the community, and they are a part of a birthing initiative. So they actually work with us to get families signed up before they even leave the hospital. So when you are doing your checkout paperwork, you've got your baby, in the car seat, all strapped up right, and you've done your birth certificate and all your other things. You are also getting an application to fill out to receive those books from Imagination Library. So they get you to fill that out before you even leave the hospital. We go pick that up, and we have amazing volunteers that help input that information. It does take about a month or two. Just to go through the system
Sure.
and get everything ready and mailed to you. But within about 2 months of leaving the hospital, you should get your first book. And one thing that some people don't know is that everyone's first book is The Little Engine That Could. So no matter when you're born, what year, what month, the first book that your child will ever receive is always The Little Engine That Could. So it's a really exciting opportunity, and we're thankful for both Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford and Stonecrest that they are part of those birthing initiatives here in Rutherford County. And it goes outside of Rutherford County. Like you mentioned, we do serve so many additional counties, and a lot of them come to Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford to give birth. And so it does not matter what county you live in, you fill out that paperwork, we will put that in the system, and then you will still get that from whatever county you live in. So we're really excited to set that up and try to make that as easy as possible for parents.
Yeah. So there's no, well, this is one of the 2 trillion things that I have to do before being a new parent.
Right. No, we try to help you get that set up in the hospital. You're kind of in a daze filling out that paperwork. So just give us your address and your name, and we'll get that to you. Like I said, at no cost to families involved.
We've got Haley Adams joining, the Vice President of Marketing and Major Events with the United Way of South Central Tennessee. With the partnerships that you have with the hospitals, I wanted to ask you about the book. Mm-hmm. So after Little Engine That Could, if that's your first one, then I guess everyone from that point on is sent the same book every month, and that is that Dolly Foundation that helps to decide the books, right?
Yeah, it depends on your age and what year you're born.
Oh, okay.
So if you have 2 children, so my children are 3 years apart, their first book and their last book will be the same, but all of their other books have been different. So it's based on the year. We actually have a link on our website that allows people to go in and see what books they can expect based on what year their child was born. So my son was born in 2023, so these are the books that he will receive this year. My daughter was born in 2025. These are the books that she will receive this year. They work really hard, number one, to make sure that they're engaging and that they're age appropriate based on their age. But also one thing that I really love is having an infant, and you probably know this with your granddaughters, they like to put a lot of things in their mouth. They specifically send some board books or some of those that are hard to rip, hard to tear. And as they get older, of course, the stories get, longer and more in depth, but then you also can kind of trust a 5-year-old not to put a book in their mouth most of the time. So the books actually change as they go as well, and they do a great job choosing those. So you twins, if you have twins, they will get the same book, but otherwise, if you have multiple children, that's a really common question for us is, oh, my son got them, so I'm not going to enter again. No, actually, they'll get a whole new set of books. So we always encourage everyone, even if you've already had a child go through, to put your other children through too.
How cool is that? I mean, this must be some super duper database that keeps up with all of this.
It is, it's crazy. And it's kind of crashed. I need to see if we've been able to get into it. We've had so many people, like, Dolly's businesses and her family have shared that was what she wanted her legacy to be. She wanted people to give to their local imagination libraries and to sign up. So we've actually, I know yesterday there was a period where we couldn't get into our system because so many people were signing up, which is amazing. That's exactly what we want. But then also we would love some support from, we have amazing partners, but we've had people in the community say, how can I support the Imagination Library by giving a gift, so they can do that through us as well to continue that for other children in our community.
Well, that was going to be my next question because you're talking about half of the purchase price for the book, half of the purchase price for the postage, and you're doing this for $20,000, and that can really add up. So, and I know you have some Imagination Library specific fundraising events, but maybe touch on that and how money is raised for making sure these books get into our kids' hands.
Absolutely. Well, we're always working to fundraise. We're applying for grants. We're applying for funding. We have several, like you said, several events throughout the year, like Storybook Breakfast that's sponsored by MMC Pediatrics. So that'll be coming around in March. I mean, it's crazy to think we got to get started on that soon, but that's a really big fundraiser for us, and it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, we really do rely on the donations of the community. It cost us about $25 to sponsor a child for a year. So if you think that's a $125 donation could sponsor a child's entire 5-year experience, get them 60 books for $125. So we really use those two numbers. $25 is a great donation amount that people could make to their local United Way, to your local UW.org. You can designate that to go to the Rutherford Imagination Library and help sponsor a child so that we can use that funding just to continue and get those books in those hands.
So the website, your local uw.org, that's the website, and I'm sure that navigation is so easy on your site.
Absolutely. You just go to donate, and when you go through that process, it gives you the option to designate to Rutherford Imagination Library.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that you have a section on there as well, just to kind of describe some of the things about Imagination Library.
Absolutely. Yes, you can navigate, or you can do yourlocaluw.org/Imagination Library. If you go to our social media, we've obviously got a lot going on right now, just promoting in honor of Dolly, but then promoting the program, again, getting people signed up. If they've moved here, that's something also. Once you move, you have to change your address. So if you do move from out of the county or into the county, then we want to get those books to you and make sure they're not going to the wrong address. So there's ways to get all that information, make all those changes, and make those donations on our website.
And I'm assuming that new parents know, okay, you've been signed up, any changes, a move, whatever, this is where you need to update your information?
Yeah, it's on the back of the books. Sometimes people call us and we try to put that information out there, but that's always kind of a question that we get too.
I bet.
So this would be a great way for me to share that if you have moved, if you don't know how to get those, or you've stopped getting them, or have any questions about it. Most people don't know that it's our United Way of South Central Tennessee that is actually the partner that is the easiest to contact in that program. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to contact our office. We have contact on our website, and we would love to get everything fixed for you.
That website again, yourlocaluw.org. And Haley, thanks for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for sharing the love of literacy.
Absolutely. Haley Adams, the Vice President of Marketing and Major Events, joining us on Rutherford Issues today.